Hey guys, we're back from our Thanksgiving break. Sorry that the episode is late again. We'll try to get them out on time again from now on. With that being said, I wanted to let you guys know that we have pushed back the release date of the episodes from Monday to Tuesday from now on. It's going to be at the same time, but just now the new release date is Tuesday for new episodes. All right, here's the show.
Sir, do you know why I pulled you over?
Speeding?
No, it's because your intro sucks. Please step out onto the curbside.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Curbside Podcast, the podcast where we talk about cars and everything to do with cars. My name is Jeff. I drive a 2004 Honda S2000, and I am your Taiwanese American Southern Californian.
What's up, everybody? My name is Parth. I drive a 2016 M3 and live up here in the Northern California Bay Area.
And I'm Andrew. I drive a 2014 Evo 10 MR and a 2015 Subaru BRZ.
So these past few days, I've just been like trolling the internets for things to talk about. But on the Subtle Asian Cars page was the news of some guy YouTuber dude. But his dad owned a Pagani Huayra. I think down in Texas. It's
read
like
about
one
this.
of one, a purple one. It made news this week because apparently he crashed it.
Holy shit.
Crashed
Nice.
a $3.4 million Pagani Huayra. So that got me thinking. What's your, obviously, you know, it's your son. He's gotten in a car accident. You got to make sure he's okay. But what if, okay, after all that
Do you, though?
settles-
I mean, if the job's not finished there, I'm showing up to the accident scene with a
Yeah,
Glock.
I'm gonna finish what the accident. I'm gonna finish what the accident didn't finish.
Oh, you're alive? That sucks.
Yeah. Come here real quick.
So, what would you do if your it looks like 17-year-old son crashed your $3.4 million car?
Well, first of all, here's the thing. See, for us, we're people who will never see that kind of money in a car, right?
Yes.
For us, it's like, oh my god, like this is the. For them, like you see what the headline says on the article. It says
Yeah.
right there, just tell dad to phone Italy and order a new one. I bet you that's what's gonna happen. Like that's what's gonna happen because to these
Yeah.
guys who have this much money, money's not a thing. It's not a thing of concern, right?
Yeah.
It's like-
so it looks like on the Drive article, the dad is,
Oh, he is a billionaire.
I guess, is a billionaire who founded a private equity firm in Dallas. So this is one of probably many expensive cars.
Yeah.
Apparently, he also has. It says in the article, you know, a Senna, a Chiron, a
What the
LaFerrari,
fuck?
a Dawn, and a Urus. So, but still, it's still a one-of-one,
yeah.
$3.4 million Huayra.
I bet you the dad's the most upset because it's one of one. It's like, god
Yeah.
damn it! Now I have to
No,
get
definitely.
the regular. You don't have to get the regular silver one now or the blue one.
What he's probably actually upset about is he has to wait another year to do another one of one.
I mean, like, he could just drive his LaFerrari or his Senna in the meantime.
But those aren't one of one.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's assume that this guy's down to earth. He comes from humble beginnings, right?
Mhm.
And knows the value of money.
Yes.
Coming short. I mean, like, here's the thing: those kind of people, if they let their kid drive their cars, they have
Yeah.
some sort of trust in them, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, maybe not. I wouldn't. I put it this way: if I had a son or a daughter who was into cars, and I had some sort of faith and trust in them that they're decent human beings and that they know, like the limits of the car and like stuff like that, and they know responsibility, just basic stuff like that, then yeah, okay, I'll let them drive it, but maybe not until they're like 21. Just out of the fact that their brains aren't that smart yet, like literally, like medical wise, like their brains aren't developed, So, like I would say, I would let them, but maybe if they're 21. But also depends on the kid. If the kid's like a hooligan, stay away from my car, dude. But if like the kid's trustworthy and like you know your kid and you know that okay they won't do this kind of stupid shit or like show off or stuff like that, then yeah, why not? Let them enjoy these things in life too, but and show them that oh look, you can work hard to get this because it's still mine, bitch. At the end of the day, I'm taking it with me to the grave.
The dad had to have known the risk that would come with letting his 17-year-old
100%. Unless the son just like takes the car and says "fuck you, dad," and like leaves.
If the dad didn't know, then he's definitely gonna get what the accident didn't give him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously we don't have this much money, right? The $3.4 million Pagani could be like the equivalent of them. Oh yeah, but I let my son drive the family like Civic out today.
Yeah, right.
In terms of money, but like in my case, if my son was just the fact if he was a teen YouTuber,
making YouTube videos out of my car,
I'd be like, you probably, I don't know if you should drive.
Yeah, I personally would have some red flags if like my kid is trying to make a YouTube channel off of my cars. I'd be like, bitch, go find somebody else.
First of all, you're giving me all the ad revenue.
Yeah.
It's just like based on the fact how teen YouTubers act these days is just a major red flag for me.
Probably crashed it for the content.
Hey, check how many subscribers he has now.
Yeah. You won't believe what happened, or I don't know, some stupid ass.
That like button.
Oh my god. We need another Pagani, guys, but we need your help. Smash that subscribe button.
I'm about to start an Indiegogo page to raise me some funds to pay back for this Pagani. But yeah, so I was actually thinking, like, to what extent, like, what would you let your kid drive as their first car?
You would give him a bike?
Like a bicycle or a motorcycle?
Like a bicycle.
You'd give him a bike?
Yeah.
Walk, motherfucker. Or ask your mom to drive you wherever you need to go.
Looking back now, I was like, I'm pretty happy the way that my parents approached it. I definitely got the hand-me-down, like, it wasn't a piece of shit, but it was a piece of shit. The 740 IL. So I'm glad I started with that. It was really safe. It was fast if I wanted it to be. But then when my parents bought me my first car, the BRZ, I was nagging them about getting me an Evo 10. And my dad was like, if you want a death trap, you buy your own death trap. So I was like, bet.
Fast forward a few years and look what he did.
Yeah. But pretty much, I don't know. I would get him, I would definitely start him off with the hand-me-down. Yeah. It's going to be like a slow, boring, normal car. And then if they're into it, then maybe we can dip into the sports car segment.
That means you got to make sure when you're older, you got to buy yourself a boring, slow car. Because right now, the only hand-me-down you could give to your son is either the BRZ or the Evo.
Yeah, that was gonna be the next thing. Like, what if you don't have a boring hand-me-down car in the future? Like, your most like civilian car is like a fucking like Range Rover, like or some shit like that.
Hey, brand new Mirage is cheap.
See, I'm also biased because my first car was a hand-me-down RX-8, and that's only because my dad was a car enthusiast. But it fits every category that, Andrew said. It's safe, it's slow, but it's also fun. Like, I mean, it is slow, bro. Like, there's, like, no torque in that car. It revs forever, which makes it fun. But it's like a first car that, if you're into cars, it will get you more into cars. It'll make you learn about how stuff works, right? And make you learn, like, okay, well, if this went wrong, is there a way that I can fix it? Or, how do you fix it, right? It gives you that opportunity.
In your case, no.
In my case, no, because, inept. Yeah, like, I mean, if they're into it, some sort of fun car, but not something that's fast or that can get him in trouble. Like, definitely not like the M3 or something like that. Maybe, honestly, like a BRZ. Not even gonna lie.
Yeah.
Just get him a BRZ.
I think the BRZ would be a great hand-me-down.
Yeah. I think that'd be fantastic because it's a fun car for somebody who's getting into cars or is into cars, and you can't really get in trouble with it. And it's safe, right? Like, they're pretty safe, so...
Yeah. If they're, like, into cars, they have to earn, like, the sports car thing.
Yeah,
You have to start with the... You have to... You can't just get a sports car, like...
See, my thing would be... I'll be like, here's a taste. Now, if you want that other shit, we'll figure it out, bro.
A taste to me is like a Civic SI.
Yeah.
BRZ, would that be something you work up to, or that would be the hand-me-down?
Use BRZ. From, like, today, in the future. Like a fucking 2017 BRZ in, like, 2030. That's what I'm saying.
I say work up to it. Yeah, it is.
Work up to a BRZ.
Yeah, because honestly, I think if I didn't learn how to drive like spiritedly in the 7 Series, I probably would have killed myself in the BRZ as well.
I guess. I don't know. I'm different on that one. I think it's
I used to whip that 7 Series, dude. You can ask Jeffrey. We took it on canyon roads. It was a 4,000-pound car just whipping on canyon roads, and like the brakes, it would understeer so hard because you would brake hard and turn and just go straight.
That's true. If you learn to drive a car like a bus fast, then you probably be able to drive a fast car fast.
Yeah, no, definitely. I started out driving like the Odyssey and the MDX, and man, parking the S2000 is so easy.
Yeah.
I mean, I asked this question because we're very lucky, okay? All three of us, only children. We got hand-me-downs. We got first cars. But, you know, at least in terms of my parents and Andrew's parents, like, they weren't huge car enthusiasts. Andrew's dad likes working on cars, but, you know, the cars he had in the family were not car enthusiast cars. But... if we become fathers, we will be car enthusiasts.
Yeah.
And I feel like, you know, the kid, if they're a car enthusiast and they're getting their first car, you know, you feel for them. It's like, I was there once. I understand what you want right now.
And that's why they go through the same pain.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude. It's like,
learn.
Dude, that's one of the lessons. Like, dude, they're gonna face that same shit when they go to like high school, when they go to college, when they get their job. They're gonna face. Everyone pays their damn dues in life, bro.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what it is. You go through the same damn shit as everybody else to get to the good stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
You can't just get it. Fuck that.
Yeah, you gotta tell them. All right, you listen. You know, this is your first car. You might get into an accident or something like that. Would you rather it be this old hand-me-down minivan or the car you've always wanted?
Yeah,
exactly. I think that was pretty much what my dad said.
Like,
you know, out of curiosity, because you said the accident thing, did you guys ever get into an accident?
Yes.
You guys have?
Yeah.
I've been rear-ended.
Okay, knock on wood. Nothing has happened before to me. That's why I'm asking, because it's literally been 9 years now, and like. Knock on fucking wood. I'm just curious. I always think about that. I'm like, isn't this like something that's supposed to happen at some point? And I'm like, it's not happening. So am I saving it up for the big one or some shit? Like fucking like straight to ICU type shit, you know?
You're fucked now.
Yeah,
dude.
It's like the earthquakes.
Go
you know?
outside, hit some trees.
Yeah,
hit some lampposts. Okay, so you're gonna
That M3's getting bent in half.
Dude, that's why I'm so fucking scared. Like literally, like I think about this shit sometimes when I'm driving. I'm like, you know, I've never been in an accident, not even like a fender bender, right?
You should just go get into a small one right now.
Right?
We should just right now take the car and just go hit somebody.
Yeah.
No, but that's the shit scares me because it's like earthquakes. You know, they say, "Oh, keep letting the little ones happen," and then you know, the big one is delayed or some shit. Well, I'm keying for a big ass like 18-wheeler head-on shit right now, dude. Like.
Right now we're writing the job opening for a third host on the Curbside
may
podcast.
as well, dude. Seriously, just think about this, man. Like, Next year will be 10 years since I started driving cars. Like, holy shit.
Nuts.
I think my first accident was when I actually called Parth because I had taken you
Oh,
to
this
the airport.
after you dropped me off at LAX?
Yeah, and I was
Okay.
on my way back, and then I got rear-ended. I was like, dang. I was like, what do I do now?
I was like, I don't know, get his insurance, call the cops if you have to.
It's like, hey, Parth, what do you know about accidents?
You literally called the least qualified person, apparently.
Because it was like, I got rear-ended in like the innermost lane. It was one of those situations where traffic suddenly built up, and then suddenly, I was so
Yeah.
confused. I was like, what just, did my car blow up? Did something, what? And then I looked behind me, I was like, oh, that's
Such a crazy feeling getting rear-ended, man.
yeah, because it's just so out of nowhere.
Yeah, and you like launch back into your seat, and you're like, "Whoa!" I got rear-ended in San Luis Obispo in my mom's Lexus. Just made a right corner, or made a right turn, and then there was a car turning into these apartments. So I stopped, and some dumb sorority bitch was texting on her phone,
Yeah.
smashed right into me. She was driving a Mazda 3. The engine fell out of the engine bay.
No way.
Yeah.
And the Lexus, what, the bumper was just caved in a little bit?
It was caved in, and there was some damage to the rear motors, but
Uh,
that was about it. But it was
service.
like $1,000. It was $1,000 from being totaled.
oh, shit.
Gee.
It didn't look that bad. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Jeez. Yeah, when I
Yeah.
got maybe we should buy the kids a mom SUV, because when I got
Yeah.
rear-ended in the MDX,
You
the
didn't even feel-
exhaust fell off, and I was like, oh no! And I got home, hooked it back on. I was like, oh look, the car is brand new again.
Wait,
And then-
really? Nothing happened to the bumper or anything?
Nothing. Like the only thing that really happened was kind of like the bracket that holds the spare tire in place
Uh,
got bent a little, and I just bent it back, hooked back the exhaust on. Meanwhile, the Mercedes that hit me, the front grille was completely caved in.
seriously.
Yeah.
All right, we're buying all of our kids the first cars at MDX.
Either that or like a mini, like a small truck, like a Tacoma,
Oh, yeah. yeah.
like a used Tacoma,
Yeah,
brand
yeah.
new, 2003. I don't know about SUVs like as a first car, because like if your kid's a fucking idiot and he's
Yeah.
speeding and he
Yeah.
makes a quick turn, or like he
Yeah.
tries to avoid an accident, that shit's gonna roll.
It depends.
If my
Like
kid's
nowadays-
a fucking idiot, I wouldn't give him shit. That just be like,
There's one thing. But nowadays, SUVs are engineered to the point where a lot of them don't have the high rollover risk stickers.
yeah, but they're getting an SUV from like 99, bro. That's what we're talking about here. What do you mean? You know those old Dodge Durangos, bro? That's what they're fucking gonna ride around in, dude.
Yeah. I think if you whip even the new ones hard enough, I don't know.
If you whip any car hard enough, you can flip a Lambo.
But you have to
Ground.
be going like 200 miles an hour. Tell
Yeah.
me,
it's
you're telling
less-
me you could flip that 740? There's no fucking
Dude, there's
way
no
you're
way.
flipping that.
And the only reason why you flip the Lamborghini is also because more of aerodynamics rather than like weight instead of gravity.
All right, so we're getting our kids Lamborghinis.
Okay.
There we go. That's
There we
that's
go.
the solution.
So fuck the SUVs because you know they might flip that shit, and then just get them a Lamborghini. They're pretty safe
Yep.
too.
Yeah.
Or Pagani.
Carbon tub, so safe.
That's why that dad let his kid
Yeah,
drive a
exactly.
Pagani. Because
Yeah,
he knew
this
that
is
car
safe.
was literally safe as shit. The safest car he owned.
So none of these '90s rust buckets.
Yeah.
No SUVs. What we
Mm-hmm.
get them has to be made out of carbon fiber.
Monocoque.
And it has to be built around a
Monocoque.
carbon tub.
Engine should be in the back, just in case
Yeah.
they rear end anyone. It's safer. Like
Yeah.
and mid-engined.
and a fire
So
extinguisher. in the car.
mid-engined carbon tub, fire extinguisher in the car.
Formula One cars. They crash all the time, but they walk off. They're just upset. Just get them a Formula One car. Yeah. If you want your kids to be safe, buy them a race car.
It's settled then. All
Yes.
right, guys. Remember this day. Remember our advice. All right. Should we head to our break?
Sounds
Yeah.
good.
All right. break time. As always, you can check us out at thecurbsidepodcast.com, where you'll find links to all of our things. We also have a YouTube channel. Go check that out. If you're watching the YouTube video right now, you're there. So subscribe, hit the bell, check out our videos and stuff. And we're at 200 something odd, 40
Everybody watches fucking
subscribers.
YouTube, bro. You're fucking like, you're on that. People on that shit like 24/7. Like, takes 1 second out of your YouTube searching of like TikToks, because now TikToks are on YouTube apparently. So to just fucking, type in the Curbside Podcast and subscribe.
Very convincing. Yeah,
What?
take that same mentality and drag your ass over to Instagram at the Curbside
Because
Podcast.
none of you shitters are doing shit in life except just on your phone 24/7. In between Insta, Facebook, TikTok, and Twitter.
Yeah, I know you guys are opening YouTube, scrolling around, closing it, opening Instagram, closing it, opening Instagram again. So the second time you open it, type in the Curbside Podcast, follow us there.
And then close
we
it.
post. Yeah, and close it. And then open it again. Yeah, follow us there. We post periodically. We also post on our stories of like shit we're doing, polls, and you can also ask us questions there as well. You can also find us on Twitter at Curbside Pod, and Facebook at facebook.com/the Curbside Podcast.
And shoot us an email for any of your emailing needs. It's the Curbside Podcast at gmail.com, and also check us out on the sapien.network.
Now, with that being
Went
said,
real civil there. The energy changed.
It went from like, let's antagonize the audience to, hey, check us out on Sapien.
Yeah.
All right, back to the show. Before we get to news, we had question, I believe, Park?
Yes, we had a question from one of our listeners, Mr. Grant. And again, if anybody else, like Grant, wants to message us with any kind of topics or questions or things they have, we will gladly discuss them on the show. So here's the question. I'm in the market for a new car. I've been eyeing either the Civic Type R, the WRX, or he might wait for the new 400Z. The problem is that he learned how to drive stick briefly, like an hour in the parking lot, but doesn't feel comfortable enough driving a manual on the road in traffic and regular driving conditions. We've all been there. So my question is, or his question, what is the best way to learn how to drive manual? He's seen places that offer lessons, but he's 99% sure they're closed due to COVID. So is there any advice that we could give to Mr. Grant?
I think the best advice I've ever heard on how to learn how to drive a manual, the quickest way, is buy a car long distance, buy a one-way plane ticket, or have your friend drive you there.
Yes.
Pick up the car and drive it back.
Yes. No, that's 100%. I mean, that's a little extreme, but
Trial by fire.
It's literally that. Just you literally buy it and you learn.
Just do it.
Do it.
Yeah.
Just do it. That's
Yeah.
it. I mean, I got lucky enough that my first car was an RX-8, which was the manual, so I got to learn on it. The hard part was learning to drive and learning manual at the same time. That was a little difficult. No, yeah, I have a bunch of friends whose I think their dads didn't drive manual because they used to drive them, but not anymore. And they bought their first car manual, and literally one of them had the dealer drive it home.
That was
and
me.
Oh, you had that too, right?
Yeah.
Another one of our friends had the dealer drive it home. Another one had their relative or something drive it home. And the other one had their dad drive it home. And the dad was like, I haven't done this in 30 years. And somehow the car came home.
That was my dad too. He was like he drove manual all his life until he moved to the States. And when we got the S2000, he was like, nah, I can't. So dealer.
Your dad stalled my BRZ like 4 times and got out. Lose the touch in your left foot.
Yeah.
But from my personal experience, we bought the BRZ. My dad drove it home, and then within like 30 minutes of it being home, he was like, "Get in." Drove us to a parking lot. Spent like an hour and a half in a parking lot just practicing first gear, and then he was like, "Okay, drive home."
Yeah.
I also found it easier to learn on my own without like instructor or dad in the
Uh-huh.
passenger seat yelling at you because it just makes you nervous. So I would just literally go in the car and practice around my neighborhood. And when I would mess up, I would call Andrew. I'd like, hey, yo, so I'm stalling like this. What should I try? And he's like, oh, just try this. And, okay.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I would also make a suggestion to buy a manual car that doesn't have any of those modern day manual.
No assist. Don't get anything with assist.
Yeah, because it's just easy mode. The M3 has all the fucking assists. It has the downshifting, the fucking hill assist. Like I can crawl that thing at like 500 RPM and it still won't stall. Like it takes a lot to stall that car, but I come from an RX-8 with no assist, no nothing, and handbrake hill starts, all that shit. So if you know how to do it, then and you move on to the easy shit, then that's fine. Who the fuck cares? But your first one, do it the hard way. Just because then you'll be able to comfortably sit into anybody else's manual car and drive it.
Either you get the car you want to drive, or you have a friend or a family member who's able to lend you a car for an extended period of time. Because you could learn how to start the car like a couple of times in a parking lot if your friend lets you borrow the car for 2 hours or something. But you don't get enough practice for you to...
Yeah, that won't last.
It's best for you to actually just get the car or just have a car for a really long period of time.
Yeah.
And just get out on the street and drive it. I understand the fear, right? You get the car, it's home, and you're like, cool, I bought a car that I can't move in. Great. But, you might stall a couple times.
Yeah.
It's not that bad.
And in the beginning, like, you'll probably drive around your neighborhood, obviously, because you can't really drive your car to the parking lot where you want to practice through public streets. That doesn't really make sense. So you'd probably just drive around your neighborhood first, which is fine. And then that's actually an easier way to get into driving on the main streets. Because parking lot and main streets manual driving is different. It's completely different.
Yeah.
Like your mindset is good. Like when you're at a red light and you're anticipating that green light and you're in first gear and you want to make sure you don't stall and there's like 100 people behind you and it's a busy.
I remember waiting. Like just okay, here we go.
I hope I don't fuck up.
Yeah. And then you either stall or ride the fuck out of your clutch.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think to kind of wrap this up, I think learning how to drive manual, you have to just send it. Just go
just
balls
do
deep
it.
into it.
Honestly,
just get the car you want. You will figure it out.
Yeah. No.
In the beginning, like the first few days or so, you'll be like, okay, I'm fucked. But you will figure it out.
Yeah.
It's like, what have I done? Why did I buy this car?
Yeah.
I'm never going to be able to get anywhere.
But also, I wanted to say another thing back to one of the things he mentioned, which was he was looking for like classes or like somebody to train him. Fuck that. Don't pay nobody.
That.
Don't pay nobody to learn manual. Fucking if you learn it, if it takes you a year to learn it yourself, it'll take a year. But do it yourself or find somebody. Come out here to the Bay Area. We'll spend a weekend just driving manual. And we'll get it done.
There you go. There's some, actual advice we've given on the show.
Grant,
Holy
I hope
shit.
we helped you. Hope we helped you out a little bit. Yeah.
Anyway, news. Big news. Exciting
A lot of
news.
JDM news this week.
Yes. But before we get to that, Amazon has dropped the trailer for the next episode, I guess, of the Grand
Special.
Tour.
Special.
Yeah. This is
They
they're
don't do
only doing
episodes
specials
anymore.
now.
Yeah.
It's going to be in Madagascar, and it looks like the cars they will be driving, James May will be in a Caterham for some reason. Hammond's going to be in a Ford Focus RS, and Jeremy's going to be in a freaking Bentley Continental GT, which kind of makes me wonder, it's like, so they have a whole season's
Decent
budget
cars. Yeah.
in one episode. So
Right?
and it looks like from the trailer they modified the crap out of them.
Yeah, dude. Like that's an off-road Bentley and a freaking Ford Focus with like
with
tank tracks on it. So it's not like the regular modifications that they do at some like tuck shop in like the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm just still wondering why James isn't a caterer.
It's fucking James Bay, bro. What do you mean? He can do anything he wants, bro.
It's usually Hammond in the
it's
open
usually
wheelers
happening
though.
in like in a stupid car, but James is.
Yeah.
But so it's called the Grand Tour presents a massive hunt, and it seems like they're doing like a treasure hunt type deal in Madagascar.
I don't
So
care what it is. I'm just excited, bro. Fuck
I
it.
am
Yeah.
going to watch the crap out of this,
And I love it's
have been
December
waiting
18th.
for.
Christmas
Yes,
time, it's just something. You're not doing shit. Everyone's off of work. You're just kind of they're spending maybe 2 evenings watching this. I don't know how they're gonna release it, but is it
probably just one episode,
one
Yeah,
massive
it's
episode?
one long one.
probably, or
Was the last
whatever
one
they
like
did.
that?
Yeah, I think so.
I thought the last one was in 2 parts.
The specials are always singular episodes, I think.
Yeah, maybe.
I thought they were
maybe
2
it's-
parts.
I don't quite remember, but I just know I'm gonna watch it, and then I'm gonna watch it again.
You know what that means? You know what this means? In the near future, I will be watching the last special again.
Yes.
Anyways, it is a big week for JDM fans.
Yes.
Or it's
we'll
a
start
terrible week for JDM fans. Let's be honest.
It's like annoying like that now because I think opinions on cars are so polarized these days.
So, I will say, as somebody who doesn't usually give a shit, I have seen the BRZ. I have not seen the Civic. So this will be an initial reaction.
All right, we'll start with the Civic.
What the fuck?
It's a car.
That's a fucking Volvo. Not a Volvo, a Volkswagen.
Yeah, it's a Jetta.
Dude, what the hell? Look at that front end, especially with those lights.
So the whole thing is that they everyone says that the Honda Civic looks more grown up now.
That's an
what
Audi.
What they've done
That's
is
a fucking Audi.
they've basically tried to make it look more German, which is what I guess grown up means these days.
Let me get this. Hang on. Let me get this fucking straight. So the Japanese are trying to go German, while the Germans are trying to go Japanese, i.e., BMW with their Lexus taillights. Hello?
Okay, so they've decided to do the whole thing where they push the A pillar back so it looks more like a rear-wheel drive car, I guess, whatever, in terms of proportions. That's all good and fine, but it just looks like a hunk of car now. It just looks like a car. There's
Keep in mind, this is the prototype, though. But it looks
Yeah.
damn near production, but...
prototypes in Honda terms basically means we change a line or two
Yeah.
under, and the wheels get smaller, which kind of means it gets worse. Curious to see how the hatchback looks.
I mean, I don't know. Okay, what really annoys me is they went from the last generation Type R, like straight up like styled after a Gundam, to this.
I'm curious as to see what the hatch and the Type R look like, but
Yeah.
I mean, this Civic is just
It
car.
can't be good. The main piece of news from this week, or today actually, after how long has it been? We've talked about it at least 5
Let's
times
be
on this
honest.
show.
They've been speculating for a second gen BRZ since the
The
BRZ
first
came
gen,
out.
yeah.
But they finally announced it today. I think the styling is extremely controversial. I like it. I think it's going to be another one of those cars that you have to see in person to actually like really appreciate it. The front does look a little bit goofy.
I did not like the front end with this car. I thought the front end of your generation BRZ looks a lot better. This looks like that same shit that Nissan pulled with their 400Z. It's like,
Yeah.
This is like,
I do not like the styling on this car
I don't
at
either.
all, really. So they bumped up the horsepower to 224. Nice. I think
228.
they lowered 228. Nice.
Mhm.
They lowered the center of gravity, I think. They improved the interior. Cool. I think they should have done all of that and just left the original BRZ styling if that was.
Yo, dude,
like-
what's with this year and everybody coming out with some shit styling cars, man? Like, I'm just kind of done with this shit, man. Like,
I like it.
I-
I think, and this is, I own a first
That's what I'm
generation,
saying,
and
but you're also
I agree. The
biased,
first
right?
generation.
yeah.
Well, no, I think I should be biased the other way. I should be like, like this is shit, the first gen, whatever. I do think the first generation does look better, but I don't think this is as trash as people are making it seem.
No, it's not trash.
It's not trash. It's just like
I just don't like it.
You had,
Like,
yeah, exactly.
yeah, like it felt
Yeah.
like for me it went backwards in terms of styling.
Like the new
Yeah.
M3, same thing.
Out of all the generations, including the facelift, I like the first gen styling better. Maybe with different taillights.
Wasn't this the one that was supposed to have a turbo?
I don't think it got.
They were
turbo.
speculating they're never going to put a turbo on this thing stock.
Yeah.
This is like the Cayman for Subaru. They'll never make this better because they'll
It
just
might
kill
eat
their
another
higher
car.
end. Exactly.
Yeah. I want to revisit this after we've seen them in person, and I want to see your guys' opinion, because the like professional photos is one thing, but I've seen like videos of this guy reviewing one, and just like a shitty camera view of it.
Yeah, I
the
saw
car looks
that
way
video
different.
too. It didn't look much better to me, but we'll see. We'll see in person. I
Yeah.
guess.
I think if they made the happy face like upside down and made it more angry, I think it would have looked better. Just that alone.
Yeah, it has too much of a happy, like, hey, I'm so happy. You know, like
Yeah,
those
that's what I'm saying. If
happy-ass
they flipped it
motherfuckers?
over.
Yeah, you know, like the 7 a.m., like, I'm in your face and I'm happy as fuck kind of people. That's what this kind of gives off the vibes of. Like, it's like...
Yeah, it's like
just
happy
too
and the
much.
dimples.
Yeah.
I think the one thing that bothers me the most is that they've obviously spent a lot of time redesigning the front end and the back end. But if you look at the middle of the car,
It's
where
the
the
same
door,
car.
it's
Yeah.
the same exact thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it doesn't seem
Yeah.
like it flows well. You know what I mean? Like if they redesigned
It's slightly
that bit,
different because
It-
my
yeah, it-
windows. Yeah.
but it's a little too similar.
To be honest, in this photo that we're looking at right now with the trees and stuff, if they would have just elongated the hood a little bit by like 2 feet, that would have
Yeah.
been fine.
2 feet.
Yeah.
No, I'm looking.
Are you trying to buy a Subaru SLS? What the hell?
I'm looking. There's a picture on the website where it's driving on the highway with the forest in the background. I'm looking at that picture. If they just redesigned the middle part, for me, that might have been able to do it. But
I
it's
was
just-
thinking from the perspective if they want this silly looking happy face to work, just elongate the hood a little bit more.
We'll see. I think it's going to have to be an in-person kind of deal.
You guys remember we talked about this? The AMG GT Black Series? We talked about this.
Euro news is so boring.
But we talked about this a few months
Honestly,
back.
that's the truth, right? That's like Euro News. The new so and so lettered sedan has gone across the
It's
ring.
not a sedan, genius.
The new whatever lettered car has gone
3
across
letters.
the ring 1 second faster than it did last.
Well, actually, you're full of shit because the last one that did go around the ring the fastest was an Italian car. So you can
That's
suck it.
European.
That's
Oh yeah,
Euro.
it's European. Yeah, all right.
You
I thought we were talking
fucking
German.
idiot.
No, it was the Hyundai Aventador SVJ. You didn't know that? No, anyway, but the AMG Black, which remember, Andrew, you said will not beat the GT2 RS or the 3 RS, whatever the fastest one was at that point. It just set the production car lap record at a 6-minute 43 seconds, and it ran it on its factory spec Michelin Sport Cup 2s. So no
Wow.
special shit on this. Only thing that they did was the camber and adjustable sway bars were set to the most aggressive settings, while the manually
those are
adjustable
stock?
those are stock. While the manually adjustable suspension was lowered by 0.2 inches at the front and
Whoa.
0.1 in the rear. So that's it.
Imagine stock coilovers. That's awesome.
I feel like there was a bet involved in this.
I vaguely remember it. I don't even remember if it was about a GT2.
I think it had something to do with where I said the AMG GT Black Series will set the Nürburgring lap record, and Andrew said it won't. It's not faster than such and such car. And then I think there might have been a bet involved. I don't know if anybody wrote it down though.
Any listeners, go back to our old episodes and find it, and we'll give
Yeah.
you a cookie.
We'll send you a cookie.
I
But-
would like anyone else that buys one of these cars to take it onto the Nürburgring and do this.
right.
And then I will respect it. Otherwise, it's just like...
Why don't people do that? Like, why would you not want to do that?
Because only snobby assholes buy car like this, man.
It's so dumb, though. It's like, you literally have, like, a fantastic, like, just weapon in your hands, and you're like, nah, just gonna put it in a glass case and stare at it.
I think people that buy this car are rich enough to buy it, but they're afraid. They're not rich enough to destroy it and afford, like, destroying it.
Yeah.
And the people that are rich enough to buy these cars and thrash these cars, they buy one-of-one Paganis.
Exactly.
And crash those.
No, they don't even crash it. They have their 17-year-old son crash it.
Yeah, they have someone else crash it for them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's what it is. It's like, it's just expensive enough that people that can afford it don't want to ruin it.
Yeah. But Nürburgring, lap records, performance, AMG sits at the top now.
I think with these Euro cars, I'm only excited ever, like, the first time it comes out. Like, the original, like, base version of, like, let's say the M3 and the GT.
Like the AMG GT.
Yeah. Like, everything after, where they keep adding letters and numbers on it.
The
It just goes
GTR,
like,
the GTSE, the AMG GT Black.
Yeah.
Like, really? The motherfuckers who buy it, can they actually tell the difference? Like,
Yeah. I think what is exciting Nürburgring news is, like, a Civic lapping that shit kind of fast. Like, that's cool. Like a shit box lapping it really fast is awesome.
All right, that's our show for this week. As always, thank you guys for listening. This is the Curbside Podcast. Check us out on our website. There'll be links to our platforms. Check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn. Rate us, share it with your friends. Tell everyone about our show, because that would help out a lot. And check out our YouTube channel.
Yes. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Comments if you have any. Hitting the thumbs thing. All of that helps us in getting more viewers out there. So if you like our show, share it. You can also share our social medias. Instagram at the Curbside Podcast. Twitter at Curbside Pod. Facebook.com/the Curbside Podcast.
and finally, thank you to Kid Dope for the intro and outro to the show, Fast Cars and Wild Hearts.
And as always, my name is Jeff.
I'm Parth.
I, Andrew.
Remember, drive safe, and life is too short to drive boring cars.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.